One state where we knew we were going to get the results fairly early on in the evening is Florida. Kethevane Gorjestani standing by there in West Palm Beach. Kethevane, Donald Trump has, as expected, clinched Florida and its 30 electoral votes. That must have gone down pretty well with his supporters there.
Absolutely. This was something that they were expecting, the victory. But of course, the margin of victory is something that will have a lot of Republicans very happy, especially in the state of Florida, because it seems that Donald Trump is winning by bigger margins than he did in 2020 and in 2016. And that has really trickled down ballot because Rick Scott, the incumbent senator, also winning in Florida. That race was called pretty early, even though initially it seemed like a few weeks ago that the polls were showing a tighter race. It doesn't seem to have panned out that way. And then finally, another big victory for Republicans, especially for the Republican governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, is the defeat of Amendment 4. This amendment was meant to enshrine abortion access into the state constitution. It had to garner more than 60% of the vote in order to pass. That has not happened either. So the law that is currently in place here in Florida that bans abortions after 6 weeks will stay in place. So big victories all the way down for the Republicans here in Florida. And behind me in that convention center, no doubt that the Republicans there are celebrating these initial results, and those that we spoke to someone close to Donald Trump earlier in the day, and he already was telling us that they were very confident. That is not surprising coming from the Trump campaign, but they were saying that their numbers looked good in several areas, and that is how they built that confidence. And the supporters, the everyday supporters that we've been talking to in the past few days, have all told us the same thing, which is that they are confident for their victory, that they know that Donald Trump is going to win, and that there is no way Donald Trump cannot win this election unless the Democrats steal the election like they did, as they say, back in 2020. It's a message that we've heard repeatedly from the former president, whether it's in interviews or on the stump, on the campaign trail during his different rallies.
Kethevane, you've spent the last few days reporting in a key battleground state, Georgia. Both candidates poured millions of dollars into advertising and organizing there. What can you tell us about the state of the race at the moment?
Well, Georgia is looking pretty tight, as was expected, but it seems that the initial results or some of the trending lines show that Donald Trump seems to be doing in some Republican counties, winning by bigger margins possibly, and that Kamala Harris is not necessarily doing as well as Joe Biden, but these are all still temporary results. They're just trend lines, but there is a growing feeling among Democrats, and that was a little bit palpable when we were in Georgia already, which was that Democrats were telling us we're confident, but we're cautiously optimistic. And really everyone, the vibe there was that there was a little bit of a worry, a sense that something might go wrong. They believe that they did the work, that they did the canvassing, the door knocking, the organizing, that they tried to get people out to vote. There were a lot of people voting early in Georgia, record-breaking turnout for the early vote in Georgia. And the question was it going to be to the advantage of the Democrats the way early voting was to the advantage of Democrats back in 2020? That seems to have held, but maybe not by the margins that happened back in 2020. But the supporters in Georgia were very much adamant that Kamala Harris's campaign was run the way it was supposed to be run. But there were questions already for Kamala Harris, especially among minorities and especially among black men. And it will be interesting to look at some of the demographics once we have the final results to see where that line was drawn when it comes to the black men and how they voted. For the Republicans, on the other hand, the people we saw, we went to an Eric Trump rally, the son of the former president, and then to a Trump rally in Macon. That was his final rally in Georgia. And there, the supporters were very confident also. Their caveat was this idea that this was theirs to win and the Democrats to steal. One supporter even telling us, I believe he's going to win, and if he doesn't win, we have the Second Amendment, meaning the right to bear arms here in the United States. So that gives you a little bit of the atmosphere and the tension that went on in Georgia in the final days of this campaign.
All right, Kethevane, we'll be checking in with you later on this evening. Kethevane Gorjestani in West Palm Beach, Florida.